Every week, we bring you stories of athletes overcoming adversity in their lives to succeed in school and in sports.
Kevin, this week we present an ironic tale starting with one day that changed this San Jose family forever.
It was October 12th, 1992. We found out that Carrie was expecting twins, and then it was the very next day that they gave me the official diagnosis of ALS.
Don and Carrie Altier decided to go ahead and have the twins despite the diagnosis of ALS, despite everyone telling Don he had no more than 5 years to live, despite knowing it would be hard enough raising one child, let alone twin boys, while battling the disease. The joy of learning you and your wife would be having twins one day and then learning you would die from a terrible disease the very next day.
Yeah, but my mom said we've been kind of well-behaved, unlike most kids have been. So besides the fact that normal stuff like us, temper tantrum and whatnot, like little kids throw, I think they kind of did the best with the situation what they could.
As it turned out, the boys were not only easy, they were necessary. As they grew strong and tall, Don grew weak and frail. The boys could help their dad as they grew older. In their younger years, their dad stayed at home while their mom worked. For Carrie, it was all very hard.
The toughest part is having to work full-time and taking care of my family and being able to support them. That's really the toughest part. Sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough for them.
It is 18 years after being diagnosed, and Don Altier continues to wake up every day thankful to be alive. Football season is a wonderful time for Don. He often watches his sons practice, and every game he leads the Westmont football team onto the field, giving high fives and fist bumps to the players, an inspiration to the team.
It means a lot, and it means a lot that the players respect me and talk to me and, acknowledge me as, Mr. Altier and have respect for the fact that I'm out there supporting them every game.
I think for the players, it shows, hey, here's an individual fighting every day, wanting to get better, looking to compete. Even himself, he was an athlete when he was growing up. So I think for them, as they walk on the field, they know, hey, every single play, give it your all, never give up.
Until just recently, Don was driving a van equipped so he could use his hands and arms to drive. Now his shoulders are weakening, so he can no longer drive. His ALS is a slow, less aggressive version, but it is persistent. The boys watching their father's agonizing deterioration day after day.
It's kind of been hard to watch, but since it's slow, sometimes you don't really notice that much. But sometimes you notice, especially lately with his arms and stuff, when he couldn't drive.
So this family lives from day to day. Don had hoped to see the boys into kindergarten. Now, this spring, he will see them graduate from high school. This man in a wheelchair, thankful
that I'm still here and that I'm still able to see the boys develop and talk with them about football, and that I'm still alive. I've got to accept that, yeah, it is getting harder.
If I didn't have him in my life, it would be hard for him to take care, if I didn't have child care with the boys. So it's kind of like a blessing in disguise in kind of a weird way.
Twin boys helping their dad 18 years after their parents were given advice not to have the twins while their dad battled ALS. And it's interesting, Kevin, Charlie and Lucy Wiedemeyer were a big influence in this family's life when the twins were about to be born and the father was going through his ALS. They talked to the Wiedemeyers, and because Charlie had lived so long, he fully expected to live long too, and he has.
Awesome. Charlie just has touched so many lives in this area. It's really great to see.
Yeah, he really has. All right, Bank of the West brings us the community